Hi guys, today in this video we will see how can we containerize our Next.js app and deploy and push it to the Docker Hub. That's our main motor for this video. Before that, we will also learn about what is Docker, how Docker works, what are the Docker commands, how can we build a Docker image, how can we write it, how can we build images from that, how can we run containers from images. If you already know Docker, please skip forward to the Next.js app containerization part. If you don't, be with me. I will not go that deep, but I will let you understand the core concept of the Docker, the main what the interviewer most mainly ask from you. Yes. So let's start. I fumble because I'm new on this video making thing. So शुरुआत करते हैं डॉकर के साथ. What is Docker? अगर आप देख पा रहे हैं तो डॉकर एक ये शिप है जिसके ऊपर ये बहुत सारे कंटेनर्स रखे हुए हैं. ये कंटेनर्स ये ही डॉकर है. What are these containers we will learn? Don't worry. Let's say you have your Next.js app. This is your Next.js app. How can you sure that it will run on every OS without any error? If somebody wants your code for that guy, आपकी repo जो है Next.js एप्लीकेशन की वो क्लोन करनी पड़ेगी उस बंदे को अपने सिस्टम में कमांड्स रन करनी पड़ेंगी. git clone this repo whatever it is. उसको अपने सिस्टम में नोड इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा. उसको सारी डिपेंडेंसीज इंस्टॉल करनी पड़ेंगी. तब जाके वो चले चले नहीं चले एरर दे दे, किसको क्या ही पता. Sometimes in before Docker the deployment was hard क्योंकि कुछ एप्स विंडोज़ में चलती थी वो मैक ओएस में नहीं चलती थी, जो मैक ओएस और लिनक्स में चलती थी वो विंडोज़ में नहीं चलती थी. इसीलिए टीम्स जो डेवलपमेंट टीम्स होती हैं वो सही से मैनेज नहीं हो पाता था सॉफ्टवेयर एप्लीकेशन. इसी दिक्कत को सॉल्व करने के लिए डॉकर आया मार्केट में. डॉकर कुछ नहीं है, एक ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेयर. इट इज़ एन ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेयर which helps us to containerize our app. Containerization meaning it lets you make an image of our app. What's the first term we'll learn? Image. Image is where make we make a image from our app with its installed libraries, with its dependencies, with its config files, everything you have on this app. you have we will make a image of it. From that image everybody can run containers from it. What's the second term we heard about? Containers. We run multiple containers. Containers are nothing but a virtual machine, small virtual machine that lets your code run in an isolated environment. Now, if anybody wants you to run your code, they just have to install one thing, that is Docker. Nothing to No need to install Node, no need to install dependencies. Just install Docker and run a command docker start docker run image name. That's it. The command is three line. This command, three letters command, and your code will run in any machine that has Docker installed, whether it is Mac OS, it's Windows, it's Linux, doesn't care. In any environment, that application would run. Before installation Docker, I would let you to not confuse between images and containers. Image are nothing but it is a class. If you have ever do programming DSA, OOPS concept, object oriented programming concept, it is a class. From what is class? Class is a blueprint. What is a class? Class is a blueprint. From that blueprint, what we run in OOPS, we run multiple objects. We make what? Multiple objects. Same concept there. That concepts in OOPS called encapsulation, if I'm right. That is known as encapsulation. Same. This is the same concept that images and containers. There is a difference. These are not same. Images have our app packaged. Our application is packaged. Every dependencies, every library of our app, every config files of our app is packaged into an image. From that image, we run multiple containers. Let's say image is a recipe. From that recipe, you make multiple dishes. That's difference. For let's say if we go, that's the MongoDB official Docker image. Where it is pushed, we will come later. Come next. This is the Docker Hub. We will come later. What is Docker Hub? This is the MongoDB official Docker image. It's the code of the MongoDB. It's written on what I was saying. It's an official Docker image of MongoDB where all of the code of MongoDB is packaged into this image. From that image, we can run containers of this image and we can store our data into that container, into the MongoDB containers. Next, now what you have to do, install Docker. Docker install. Don't install this. Install this. Docker install Docker desktop. What is Docker desktop? Docker desktop is the UI of the Docker. You can see your installed images in your local machine. What containers are you seeing in an UI Docker Desktop is an UI for the resources of the Docker, and Docker Desktop automatically installs the Docker engine. What is Docker engine? We will see next. Install Docker Desktop, not the Docker engine. Docker Desktop, all the specific जो भी टूल्स चाहिए हमको डॉकर के रिलेटेड वो डॉकर डेस्कटॉप इंस्टॉल कर देता है. You can download it from Mac, Linux, Windows. Just like this, it will get downloaded. I've already installed. Let's see what's next. The next topic is how the Docker run in our machine. Let's say this is our local machine. Anything can be Mac. Mine is currently Windows. This is our local machine. This is the terminal of our local machine. This is the Docker engine that we installed. Docker engine, sorry. That installed automatically with the Docker desktop. And there is DockerHub. Now what's the DockerHub? DockerHub is nothing but a repository. Like GitHub, GitHub is where we store our source code into the repo. In DockerHub, we store our images, not source code. We package our code and push it to the we package our code it to a Docker image, then we push that image into a Docker Hub. Let's say this is the official Docker Hub repo in which there's a Mongo Docker official image. We do not store the source code here. We store the Docker images here that we will make next. How this works? In terminal, we use Docker CLI, Docker commands, in which let's say we want to run Docker. But let's say from Docker CLI we want to run a image, our Mongo image. So what we will say, command docker run Mongo. That's it. The 3-letter command. We will say docker run Mongo. Then the Docker engine comes in action. Docker engine searches the local machine if this image is present in the local machine or not. If it is not, it starts pulling from the Docker Hub automatically. If it does not find the image into uh, in our local machine, then it's automatically pulls the image from the Docker Hub in our local machine. It pulls it Mongo. From after pulling this Docker, the arrow is not good, I know. From this, just hear my words carefully. From this image that we just pulled, the Docker engine creates containers of this image, and we will store our data. For, let's say we are using Mongo, that's a database image. We'll store our data into that container, not the image. Image is the blueprint, container is the instance of that. So we will store our data into the Docker container, not the Docker. So Docker engine helps you to create containers from the Docker image. That's it. That's the architecture of the Docker. Uh, Next, we see how Docker works, how the Docker commands, what are the Docker commands. Write it if you want, don't write it. I don't care. I will suggest you to write these commands. First is Docker PS. What it says, error during connect. Because our Docker desktop is not running, if our Docker desktop is not running, means our Docker engine is also not running. When if you see that it says starting the Docker engine, Docker desktop, starting the Docker engine automatically, we don't have to start it manually. That's why we install Docker desktop, not the Docker engine. It starts it. Now we say Docker PS. What Docker PS do? It gives the running containers list in our local machine. Currently, there are no containers running in my local machine. When you type docker ps -a, it gives you the list of stopped and running containers both. There's one container that is stopped. I will say docker start this container. Now I will say docker ps. It's running. The container is running. If I say docker stop, or docker kill, it will stop our container. The container id docker stop. I would say docker ps, all the containers are stopped. If I want to remove docker ps, all the running and stop containers, if I say docker rm, this container id, it will delete it. I will not, because it's a demo application. Then I have to build it again. I don't want to. Yeah, one more command. There is one application running. If I start it, this container, you can go inside this container. What is a container? I said it before. Container is nothing but a small virtual machine in your local machine in which our app is running. In which our image is running, app is running, whatever you want to say. If we want to go into that container inside, then we have to write docker exec command -it interactive mode, the container id sh. Now I'm inside the container. That's the for Next.js app. If you say where's the index.js, layouts.js, it is the build file. When you build the Next.js project, it automatically converts it to the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files from that. What's the next command? What's the next thing we do? We create a random. I've already created it. It's a random. First thing first, I have to stop it. Docker stop. this container. I stopped it. It's a random Node.js application. We are importing Express. If you don't know Express what it is, it's just an HTTP library. Const we are initializing Express into the app. We are using a method called get into this route. This is a request and response. Response dot send hello world. App dot listen means this app is running in this port. If I say node index.js, now I will go into the localhost 3000. Hello world, it is saying the app is running. The next thing is how can we containerize this app? To containerize the app, we have to create a Docker file. What we have to create? A Docker file. In the Docker file, first line will be the base image of your application. The base, what the base image your application use. What's the base image would be? Node. From node. Where it is pulling from? Here. If I say node, there's a Docker official image node. Here you can see the versions of it. 25 Alpine, 24 Alpine. We will use the थोड़ी पुरानी वाली यूज करेंगे 22 Alpine because Alpine is a lightweight image. Node 22 is a heavy image. Alpine is a lightweight version. Now we say work there in the container where the path is, where हमारी ऐप का पाथ किधर होगा. Generally it is /app. You can set it anything. Next thing is copy. This line means copy the whole entire files into the Docker container from this folder to this /app working directory folder. Now what we have to do, a run command npm install. After copying the file, we have to install the dependencies. What is the dependency now? It's the express. Npm install. We don't need expose. What is the expose command? It lets you to create a port in which your container will listen on. आपका कंटेनर किस पोर्ट पे चलेगा कि टू बी प्रिसाइज आपकी ऐप इस कंटेनर में किस पोर्ट पर चलेगी. Please sound cmd. Now we say node index.js. It's a cmd command node index.js. Now you are confused between run and cmd command. Run commands run when we build our image. CMD command runs when we start the container. It will not run when we build the image. Okay. That's it. That's the Docker file. And we can create a specific Docker ignore file, which we say कि node modules को कॉपी मत करो. नोड मॉड्यूल्स तो अपने आप इंस्टॉल्ड हो जाएंगी जब हम npm इंस्टॉल करेंगे. That's it. If I Now you have to write the docker build command. What is it? Docker build tag name. What is the tag name? What's the name of the image? Say node demo image. What is the dot meaning? Dot meaning means the docker file present in this current directory, not inside any folder. If it's inside any folder, then you have to slash source slash, then you have to clarify the path. Currently our docker file is in the same directory, same root level. On the root level, can do like this. Now our app is building. First it will fetch the node image, then it will create a working directory, then it will copy this code, then it will install all the dependencies. It will not run the cmd command. Cmd commands, see our app, our images. How can we list docker images? Our node demo images run. Now if we say docker run this image, if we say run this image, it is running, but it is running on which port? It is running on container 3000 port. But if we say localhost 3000, nothing is going to not run because the 3000 is exposed to the containers port, not our local machine port. For that, we have to use port mapping. Docker run node demo dash p port mapping. Our machine 3000 port with the containers 3000 port. Docker run dash p 3000. Now I will say like go to our browser localhost 3000 hello world. If I push it to the Docker Hub, anyone can of you can use this application and you will see the same output as the hello world. There's one flaw in this Docker file. What's the flaw is we have to go to the Excali draw. First I have to copy this. In the Docker file, every what I'm saying is listen carefully. Every image is represents a layer. What it represents? A layer. Every line in the Docker file represents a layer. What is a layer? If we say, if you ever see onion, there's layer this. So that's every line. From node 22, this is our baseline. That's our working directory line. Say this is our work dir. This represents the work dir layer. This represents the third layer, copy layer. Then this represents this layer, run npm install. Then this represents this layer. Then this line represents the outermost layer. In Docker, if you changed any of the layer, then the next upcoming layers will also be rebuilt. Let's say in हिंदी, अगर आपने इस लेयर में चेंज करा है तो आपकी आने वाली सभी लेयर दोबारा बिल्ड होंगी। अगर आपने कोई चेंज नहीं करा है तो वो कैश्ड हो जाएंगी। अभी ये फ्लो है when we say hello world and if we try to build this image again, see, first is cached, इसने डॉकर ऑलरेडी उठाई हुई है। सेकंड इज कैश्ड वर्कटेर, हमने कोई चेंज नहीं करा है। थर्ड कॉपी, हमने चेंज करा है। हमने अपने कोड में चेंज करा है तो कॉपी वाली लेयर कैश्ड नहीं हुई, उसके आगे वाली भी कोई लेयर कैश्ड नहीं हुई। सो पर लेकिन हमने अपनी डिपेंडेंसीज में तो कोई चेंज नहीं करा है। सो इसीलिए we have to run, we have to change something here, copy what package एंड हमने अपनी डिपेंडेंसीज तो कोई चेंज नहीं करी है तो इसीलिए पैकेज स्टार मीन्स जो भी फाइल पैकेज से शुरुआत हो रही है, दिस वन एंड दिस वन will copy it to our work dir, then run npm install, then we copy all of this. Now our setup is complete. Let's run. If we now change this to a cold hello world, if we again rebuild it, now you see work till cached, copy this cached, npm install is cached. This one is also cached. This one, only this layer changed. Now copy wali. That's it. In this part, we are going to see how can we containerize our Next.js app that we set up in the previous video. To containerize a app, we have already seen it. We have to make a Docker file in the root folder and a dot docker ignore file like the git ignore. इधर हम डालेंगे what we don't need from this directory to be in the to not copy in the containers work directory. Node modules that we don't need, dot next folder, no need, dot env, your environment variables we don't need to copy inside the Docker container. That's it. That's the major important things. डॉकर फाइल की सबसे पहली लेयर जो होती है वो होती है इमेज, बेस इमेज. सो वी राइट फ्रॉम node we will use 22 alpine. Alpine is the lightweight version of the node 22. Then set a work directory. If you curious about how can I get this automatic after work directory, what we do, we copy the package.json file, package.json and package.log.json, package start.json to the app directory. Now we have to run npm install command. What npm install do? It will install all the dependencies inside our container and it will create this node modules folder. Now next we have to copy all the files out there inside the container. What next we have to do? We have to expose a port in which our application will run in container. It is saying that port that this container should listen on. इस कंटेनर के अंदर इस पोर्ट पर हमारी एप्लीकेशन रन करेगी. फाइनली द cmd कमांड npm run def. व्हाट cmd कमांड डू? जब हमारा कंटेनर स्टार्ट होगा, व्हेन वी रन आवर कंटेनर, then this command will execute, and run command will execute on the build file. During the build file, run is used. We save, then we go to a terminal, we clear the screen, then we write docker build tag name next image next demo image basic name dot y dot, because our docker file is in this root directory, not inside any folder. We hit enter. It will take some time. It will fetch the node 22 alpine image. Now it is cached work directory because I was working before in this project, that's why it is cached. It is copying the package.json. Now it is running npm install. It will take some time. Our app is packaged and it is converted into an image. If sorry, not inside this, inside the terminal, clear the screen, make this terminal big. If I write docker images, you will see about a minute ago next demo image is running. If I want to run this image, docker run, in which port it is listening on 3000, so I have to port mapping there. For port mapping we use -p. In this we will write 3000 of our local machine. of this Windows machine 3000 port will map to containers port 3000 in which our app is running. And what's the name of our app? Next image demo. If we hit enter and if we go inside localhost 3000, our app is running. If I push this image to DockerHub, then you can also use this image. If I write Docker images and if I push this image to DockerHub, you can also see the same output. You just have to install Docker. I hope you already did. So what's the flaw in this? The major flaw is this: the size of this image is very big. 1.42 GB is very big. It will burn up the memory when we use in this Kubernetes cluster. The cluster will make different same image, multiple images of this, so you can assume how much memory will it consume. It's very big. We don't use this method in production to build a next image. We don't need it. We have to delete this file first. Docker ps, no container is running. Docker psa. How can we delete our container? Docker rm container id, it will delete it. How can we delete this image? Docker rm, maybe like this. So rm is for the container command. We have to go this images, next demo app. We delete this app. We delete this image from our local machine. So next part is how can we modify it to the production level image. For this I have already created a Docker file. It's a production base. I will give the link of this in the description box. It will work on all projects and I will लाइन बाय लाइन समझाता हूँ मैं आपको कि ये कैसे काम कर रही है. We save this. So what's happening, जो हमारी प्रीवियस थी उसको हम बोलते हैं सिंगल स्टेज डॉकर फाइल. What we call this? Single stage. How can we make comments in YAMLs this file? Yes, single stage Docker files. It's a single stage Docker file. We don't use this in the production level because we don't use this tsx commands. It's for the development mode to ease the developer life. We have to build this app first. After building, what the build command do, it will convert all these tsx files into html javascript files, not the TypeScript is also converted into JavaScript after building. So we have to build this app. For this I have already written this Docker file. You just have to copy from the description and paste it there. What is happening inside there, let me tell you. From node 20, this we already know, this is the base image. As base, after as, this is the stage name. What is this? Stage name. As, after as, you can write anything as the stage name. What this stage is doing, it is pulling the base image for building this app. What's the next stage? From base as dependencies. This is our next stage. In this stage, what we'll do, we will copy our dependencies and we will install it. Run apk add no cache libc content. In this, we are not going to add any caches. It will run again, build again. We are setting our work directory to /app. We copy our package.json that we see seen before. Then we run. This is the if else command in this bash scripting. If you know the syntax, if else syntax in the bash scripting. In this, if our yarn.log, then run this. What is frozen log file? Means it will lock your versions, and it will lock your versions of any of your dependencies. It will install the specific that version. npm ci npm ci is same as the npm install. It's fast and it's lightweight and it's used in production, same as the npm install. The next stage is base as builder. In this stage, we will build our code. Work directory, we have to set all of these stages. Copy from means copy this node modules file in which we install these dependencies. Copy from depths stage this directory /app/node modules that we installed it inside this builder stage. Then copy the rest of the code. Then we run. If it is package.json, then run npm run build. It will build our code. This is the next stage as runner. It will run our app. env node env, it will tell Next.js that it's a production image. Means it will not give you the early warnings that it will give you in development mode. We are creating a group Node.js and creating a user Next.js for the security reasons that Next.js wants. Copy from builder. From this stage, copy the public files, public assets. What are public files? All of your assets, images, videos, anything. Copy this. Copy from builder everything in which you build your image. When you build your image, you will get .next folder. Copy this next folder. Chown, what are we doing? We'll giving this Next.js user ownership to the Node.js. User Next.js, exposing our app, host name. This means host name 0. What this do? We can access our app from anywhere in the world. cmd node server.js. Server.js, after building a file this converted into a single server.js file. All these tsx files, jsx files converted into this. That's it. Before building, you have to go to this next config.ts, either you should write output standalone. That's it. Now you have to come to your terminal. You will read it once yourself. You will see it's very easy. Nothing is new. Now if we write docker build tag name next demo image in the current directory where our docker file is present, if we hit enter, our application is going to build. It will take some time. Our app is built and it is packaged into an image. If we clear the screen, if we write docker images, you will see the next demo image and its size 268 MB. Previous one it is of 1.4 GB and now it is 268 MB. The huge difference. You can see how lightweight it is, how less this will memory consume. So next, if we run this app, docker run port mapping 3000 of our machine, 3000 which the app is running inside the container. What's the name of this image? Copy ho ja. App is running. If we go localhost 3000, app is running. And you will see in build it will not give you any development errors like hydration warnings, everything like that. Now we can stop this app, delete it because we have to create it again. I will tell you why. Docker rm oh that's the container we have to delete. What's the container ID? For images it is a command I'm getting forget it. Now the next part is how can we upload this image into the DockerHub. Before pushing to DockerHub, we have to create an account, log in into the DockerHub. Into the browser you have to come hub.docker.com. I'm already logged in. I've already created this is my demo account. In this you have to sign in, and you have to sign in with your terminal also by doing docker login. I'm also logged in. You have to run this command and it will give you a link to authorize yourself. Then we have to build our app again by doing docker build -t tag name, our username. What is our username? Docker username, it's Zanderflynn. Docker build -t Zanderflynn, that's our Docker Hub username, not Docker username. slash what's the name of the application. Let's say demo node yt. Where's the docker file present? It's in the current directory dot. Now it will rebuild it, our image. We will wait. Now the is built fast because it cached all of our stages and our layers. When we say docker images, here it is, senderplane slash demo node yt. Now we have to push it. To push it, we have to say docker push this image name. Copy the image name, enter it. It will also take some time. My image is pushed to the DockerHub. If we go to the DockerHub, if we refresh, here it is, our image demo node yt. It's in the public internet. Now everyone can pull and use this image. Tag name, you can give tag name during the push command like this, or let's say 1 2 3 to distinguish between the different images. For default it will use the latest tag. If you say, you can see the command docker pull senderplane node yt colon latest. If I see docker ps, no container running, if anything stopped, it's my old application. If I say docker images, there it is 15 minutes ago. If I copy it, if I say docker rmi, rm for containers to delete, rmi for images to delete, name, it is deleted. If I say docker images, it is deleted. Now what's our name? This, if I say it, clear the screen, let me pick the terminal, pick the terminal. If I say docker run port mapping 3000 of our machine, 3000 to the Next.js app running in that container. What's the name? This. You can see what's the first line it print. Unable to find Zenderflint demo node yt at the latest locally. Means the Docker engine, I have earlier give you the architecture how the Docker engine works. It will find first in the local machine if this image is present or not. If it is not, it is start pulling the image from the Docker hub. We don't need this image, we know already. You can run the image like this on your PC, you will get the same output as me. So yeah, that's it for the video. We have deployed our Next.js app, containerized it, packaged into an image and pushed that image into the Docker hub. I hope you liked this video. Let me know the feedback. क्या improve करने की ज़रूरत है. I am new to this stuff recording.